Hello viewers, welcome to mathforallgrades.com videos. Today's video is about an important concept in probability, and it is odds in favor of an event and odds against an event. Probability of the occurrence of an event can be alternately expressed also in terms of odds. There are two kinds of odds. One is odds in favor and the other is odds against. Let me make it more clear by taking an example. Suppose consider a dice. When a dice is tossed, any one of the 6 numbers from 1 to 6 is likely to appear. So probability of a particular number on the dice, say 3, is 1 by 6. If you have not watched the video on probability of an event, then do watch one of our videos on that concept so that you will appreciate odds in favor better. So whenever a dice is tossed, any one of these numbers from 1 to 6 is likely to appear. So probability of any one particular number is 1 by 6 on a dice. Probability of 4, for example, is also 1 by 6. But before that, recall the definition of probability of an event. It is number of outcomes favorable for the particular event, the expected event, over total number of outcomes. So whenever a dice is tossed, any one of these 6 numbers is likely to appear. So we say there are 6 outcomes in total based on tossing of a dice. And again, how many outcomes are favorable for any one particular number? Say 3, then probability that the number 3 on the dice will appear is 1 by 6. So in this way, the chance of an event occurring whenever an experiment is done can be expressed, as you know, popularly in terms of probability. This chance of an event occurring can be expressed in another way called odds. Let's learn that. See, when a dice is rolled, the probability of, say, number 4 will be, as you know, is 1 by 6. 6 in the denominator represents the total number of outcomes which are likely to occur when a dice is rolled, and out of which one outcome is favorable for the expected event 4. This we will now express in terms of odds. Instead of expressing probability of number 4 on the dice occurring as 1 by 6, you can also express the chance of 4 appearing on a dice when a dice is rolled in terms of odds. As I said earlier, there are two kinds of odds. One is odds in favor of the event and the other is odds against the event. First, let me deal with odds in favor of an event. Odds is nothing but a ratio, and odds in favor of an event is defined as the ratio having favorable number of outcomes to number of outcomes unfavorable for the particular event E. So let me express the likelihood, the chance of 4 coming up after a dice is tossed, rolled, in terms of odds instead of probability. So now odds in favor of number 4 appearing after a dice is rolled is 1:5. That is, out of 6 outcomes in total for the experiment of rolling a dice, there is one outcome which is favorable for the number 4 to appear, and there are 5 other numbers namely 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, other than 4, which are against the occurrence of number 4 when the dice is rolled. So we say odds in favor of the event 4 when a dice is rolled is 1:5. The first term in the ratio will contain number of outcomes favorable for that event, here 4, and the second term in the ratio will contain outcomes that are unfavorable for that event 4 here. So from odds you can also, if odds are given, you can even write probability. Now probability of number 4 is favorable outcomes over total outcomes. Suppose we are given odds in favor of number 4 first, then from that how will we able to write the probability of number 4? It would be from the ratio 1:5. You should understand that the first term 1 represents number of outcomes favorable for event 4. So write 1 in denominator, and total number of outcomes would be the sum of the terms of the ratio. As you know, 6 outcomes are there in total when a dice is tossed. So if you know odds in favor of an event, then apply this method to write the probability. Now let me deal with the other kinds of odds, and that is odds against an event. So odds against an event will be the inverse of the ratio for odds in favor of the event. Therefore, here in the ratio, the first term will contain outcomes unfavorable for the particular event, while the second term will contain the number of outcomes favorable for that event. Now therefore, let me write odds against 4. So odds against 4 will be the ratio having the first term, which are having the first term the number of outcomes that are unfavorable for the event 4, and they are 5 in number. And the second term of the ratio will contain those outcomes which are favorable for number 4, that is 1 in number. So odds in favor, odds against event 4 when a dice is rolled is 5:1. Again, if odds against the event are given, then how do we write the probability of the occurrence of an event? Remember, when odds against are given, the second term in the ratio stands for the number of favorable outcomes. So that ought to be written in numerator, while the denominator will have the sum of the terms of the ratio. Here 5 plus 1, that is 6. So that you can see they both tally. So in this way, the chance, the likelihood or probability of an event occurring can be expressed in two different ways. One is the popular way of expressing, finding out the probability of an event, or the other is odds. And there can be two kinds of odds: odds in favor of the event and odds against the event. Odds are nothing but a ratio of favorable outcomes to unfavorable for odds in favor, and ratio of unfavorable to favor for odds against the event. Hope this video was found helpful for you. Thank you for watching.